So this is Dr. Viola Pierce. I am the CEO and the founder of VP Nursing and the Nurse Nurturer, where our goal is to teach nurses to work from their computers anywhere around the world, making money and owning their own time. And so I just wanted to come tonight to talk to you about business and about just being very intentional about your business. So, of course, we teach coaching and consulting, and one of the reasons why I started nursing and nurse coaching was because I just saw a need within the community of nurses, right? And so, nurses, I started it out really as the nurse nurturer. And when I started out with the nurse nurturer was the goal was to equip health professionals to be spiritually and physically fit, financially stable, able to lead with integrity, to decrease error at the bedside, increase resilience, but also to lead a full empowered life. So we kind of had 5 pillars of success. We had family, fitness, finance, spirituality, and leadership. But what I was finding as I was doing my research was that nurses, creating another stream of income was one of the ways in which they could leverage their time, with me. And so what I started to do was I started to understand business acumen and understand how to develop a business, because whenever we go into nursing, we're not necessarily taught how to be a business person. And so developing the business so that you're able to spend more time with your family and understanding the systems and the strategies in order to be able to do that. But also as well understanding how to really leverage that time but help other nurses. So like I have nurses that are in my coaching program that they help other nurses pass the NCLEX. And I have nurses in my program that help with patients who, like dialysis patients, for example, because, we have patients who are on dialysis and that we struggle with keeping them out of the hospital and understanding how to better, assist the dialysis patient, or coaching and consulting within these arenas to teach leadership. Because as we know, whenever we first go into nursing, one of the things that happens, and I didn't realize this and really didn't understand how it was at first, because when I first went into nursing, I was an LPN, and I was an LPN for about 10 years. And so I was never a charge nurse at that time. But as soon as I flipped the switch and became an RN, I was charge nurse all the time. And once I became charge nurse and I was charge nurse all the time, I didn't really understand leadership in the way in which I needed to understand leadership, and that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so understanding, those 21 irrefutable laws of leadership that John Maxwell teaches, those are the things that I just didn't understand and that I just didn't know. And until I started to understand that whole piece of it, until I started to understand how to lead in a better way, I was better able to lead my team. But I think that we as nurses really have to understand how to lead and how to be better within our organization. And there's so many other things that we can do as well. So, for example, I was an ER nurse for about 15 years. And being an ER nurse for 15 years taught me that, there are certain aspects of the ER that they are looking for, especially in management, for you. They want you to have. For example, it would be great if you had your ACLS, your PALS, your TNCC, your ENPC, all those letters, your advanced cardiac life support, all those letters that come behind your name. It's good if you have all those things. And there are nurses who are able to teach you how to, number one, get certified in it. They can certify you in it, but as well, and then they can make a business out of it, right? Because there's, as we all know, there's not a super amount of businesses out there that teach those core courses. And so you want to be able to do that for your nursing sisters and brothers. And not just that, right? Just really, really understanding how to care for the patient in a way in which which the patient can be cared for, so that the patient, is, supported in the way, because a lot of times it's really, really difficult, within the healthcare space. Like whenever you come to the hospital, for example, it's really difficult in that short amount of time to care for a patient, and give them all the support that they need, with the social determinants of health. And so one of the things that I wanted to learn how to do was to learn how to monetize that, right? Because at the end of the day, you have a level of expertise. Nurses have a level of expertise that is unparalleled, and the reason why is because, at the bottom of Maslow's hierarchy is your physiological being, and nurses understand that well. Healthcare professionals understand that well. And if you can get that piece of it done, if you can understand that piece of it, then everything else leads up to self-actualization, which is your highest form of who you are. And so that's one of the things that, we do in the VP Nursing Business Academy. And it is amazing. Like, we have such an amazing time. We have such a good time, just coaching and consulting, and just, being about each other. Like, we love hanging out with each other. So those are the things that we do. And so I encourage you to, while I'm here, ask me anything about business, because there's many aspects of business, right? There's where you are able to, number one, get your EIN while you register with the state. Once you register with the state, then you can get your Duns and Bradstreet number, where you can get business credit, and then not only that, once you establish your business, then of course you want to understand who your customer avatar is, because you want to understand who you are talking to, right? So my customer avatar is nurses between the ages of 25 and 55 typically, right? Because those are the nurses, or even 65. Those are the nurses who are, who they got a little bit of nursing under their belt, and they're able to, support other nurses within the nursing community. They're able to be there for other nurses, and not just other nurses, but patients as well. And so, understanding who your customer avatar is. After that, understanding how to make it so that you can set up your systems and strategies so that you're not always having to be on all the time. Like, you're not always having to be at the computer every single solitary day, that you're able to leverage what you do. And, it's literally little twists. It's like, Susie Carter, who is my coach, she talks about those twists, right? Those twists where you twist the what is it? She calls it a lock. You twist the lock just a little bit, all right, so that you eventually lock in and you're able to open the lock. And it's every day just, getting up and understanding what you need to do, that next best step. And we look at those big audacious goals, but you can really, really make, a lot of money with it. Not just that, you are serving well with it. And so you really want to be that person who is serving and able to do, because we're made to serve, right? We're made in the image of God. And so we're made to serve where we are. And so asking those questions about business is one of the things that we want to do. And so I have the 4-day challenge in which I'm asking, I will be there to answer any questions that are needed as it relates to business, because, from the start of the business, from you starting the business, from you having that foundation for the business, but then your customer avatar, to speaking to your customer, selling to your customer, launching your business, being very intentional about the thing that you need to do in order to make sure that at the end of the day, you're making money. Because, money that's not the primary reasoning, right? Because people are, and I say a lot about money. And the reason why I say a lot about money is because we all need money to live, right? But it's not about the money. It's more so about the ability to be able to leverage that service that we all want to give. We're just serving in a different way, right? We're not serving in the normal way that we would normally serve at the bedside, or even In leadership, we're serving outside of that, and you can do it at the bedside as well, and just create a side hustle. But when I think about nurses going into business, nurses are able to teach other nurses, like they're able to teach other nurses how to, like I've got one coach that I coach, and she teaches nurses how to pass the NCLEX. So instead of being at the bedside and taking care of 5 patients, she's able to teach 100 nurses how to pass the NCLEX, and so they have way more touches than they would not have if they were not involved. And so really, really understanding the business acumen, how to show up in your business, being very intentional about how you show up. Those are the things that you want to do in order to make sure that your business is rocking it out, right? And and it's all kinds of things that we teach. And because at the end of the day, you want to have that time with your family. When I think about all the time that I spent with my children, I remember dropping my son off at daycare, and really, really not wanting to drop him off that early, because we work 12-hour shifts, right? And so and then I'm having to, as a charge nurse, you're supposed to ideally get there earlier, but then you're not able to get there earlier because of the fact that you don't have the ability to, because you have children. And it was always heartbreaking to me to drop him off at daycare. It was always heartbreaking to me to not be there whenever they got home. It was always heartbreaking for me. And so it was, I flipped that switch, and understood that business can give me the ability to be there for them in a much better way, and that it can help the nursing profession in with a much broader footprint, and supporting the nursing profession, then it was a game changer. And so things happened very fast. And so literally I went from, not having a business at all to having a business that it serves my family and myself well. And so we had that 4-day business challenge again. It's going to be on it's going to be, what day? It's going to be June 8th through the 11th. It's going to be from 8 until 9, and we're going to be teaching social media, because there is social media has leveraged the playing field as well. It has leveraged the playing field and given us the ability to show up wherever we want to show up. So I've met people that are all over the world, literally, and it's via social media. And I've never met them in person, but I've met them on social media, and been able to understand what other people do in other areas, even of the United States. Like just the other day, I was talking with a nurse practitioner who in Florida had full practice authority. And what he did was he took the business, and he took the business model of like a country club type of mentality, and so what he did was his patients pay him a certain fee every month, and they're able to come to him. And I go to a physician very much like this as well. So I pay my physician a certain amount every month. He never uses my insurance, and I'm able to go to him. And I never, first of all, I never wait. And he spends a lot of time with me, and so those are the things that I look for. And he really listens to what I have to say. And so the same model, this nurse practitioner in Florida did that very same thing. Well, in talking with other people across the country, I was able to let them know about things that because they didn't even know about full practice authority, and being able to do that without having to use insurance, which is usually the middleman, which usually costs us a lot in healthcare dollars. And so it's just so many things that you as nurses can do. I mean, so many things, and especially from the coaching and consulting space, because the reality is that as nurses, you have a expertise in a place where a lot of people may not have that expertise. So, for example, when we first started going into the emergency department, because we have level one, two, three, and four, one, two, three, four, and five, and number threes, which is the middle tier of the ESI triage system. Number threes are what clog up the emergency department. And so really understanding how to get those threes through so that they don't clog up the emergency department, so that we're able to effectively treat them, but then understanding, where they need to be, whether they're up and standing or whether we need to actually admit them. It was called the rated process, and it was a process that a physician came up with. And so he consulted our emergency department, and it made our processes more efficient, very much in the same way in which you can consult another emergency department if it works, and whatever works in your emergency department, because we don't all operate in the very same way. And so there's so many things that we can do to coach and consult from our computers. I, of course, teach nurses how to work from their computers. I have all the equipment that you need. Your equipment needs, not just your equipment needs, it is understanding how to set it up so that it does not cost you a huge amount of money really to start it up, because you're working from your home, right? And you're able to, the cost is really low, as compared to most times when you are signing up for whenever you're signing up to do business. And so it's so many things that I just didn't know at the beginning, that I've learned on the way, and that I'm just readily able to teach other people. But it was because I was always wanting to be a student. I went back to school to get my DNP, and thought that that was going to be the thing that was going to make me all kinds of money. And the reality is that it was not that thing. What I needed to do was I needed to really, really leverage that knowledge that I knew. And I was, TD Jakes said that when you cease to be a student, you cease to be relevant. And so the personal and professional development was something that I've always been intentional about. And it is super important for me to have that personal and professional development. And so as I grow, my students grow, my coaches grow, and they are just, clients, I should say, and they are just amazing, and they're making strides. I have one who, she started out in January, and she was not doing, like, she didn't have anything. And she said that. And when she started out, what she said was, she asked on this group, she asked about marketing. And I said, I can help you. And so I went in, and I really didn't intend for her to be a client of mine, but I just gave her the marketing advice. And then I followed up with her. And then she said, well, okay, yeah, I want to be a part of your program. So she became a part of my program. She leveraged the $80,000 contract. She has a boot camp where she teaches nurses how to pass the NCLEX. And not only that, now she has a school that she has opened up, and she will have 8 streams of income from that school based on each program that she has. And I'm in awe. Like, she showed me her keys the other day, and I was like, wow. And so, and just one, we've only been in the program for about 5 weeks, and she said that she already has she will have a coaching contract here shortly. And she's already gotten her business name, gotten her logo. She started branding herself, those types of things. That is very important, how you show up, how you want to make sure that your business is being leveraged. So there's so many things that, we're able to do, and we're able to teach in these few weeks. And so I cannot wait. For you to show up for our 4-day business, our business boot camp, I should say. It's not like a boot camp. It's almost like a master class, where we're teaching things that, you should know as a business, how to develop that business acumen for the people that you coach. And so I just wanted to come on tonight. If you have any questions, please ask them. Of course, I try to answer all the questions as whenever even if I'm on, whenever I'm not on, my goal is to answer all those questions. And so, if you have any questions, please, please, please don't hesitate to ask about how to launch a business, how to start it, what are some of the things that you can do in order to be successful within this business arena, because it is important that we as healthcare professionals start supporting us as healthcare professionals. We can't lean and depend on everybody else to do that. We have to do that ourselves. We have to be very intentional about that. And our we are we're kind of bad. When I say bad, I don't want to say a cuss word, but we're phenomenal. Okay, so let's just say phenomenal. And the reality is that I remember when the senator from Washington State, when she said that, and I didn't really understand the power of the nursing profession until there was this senator from Washington State, and most of you know what I'm talking about. She started talking about the fact that we were playing cards on our break. And the reality is that we never, first, number one, okay, we rarely have a break. Secondly, if we have a break, typically we have a phone in hand and we're constantly answering the phone, and then we're eating. And so are we playing cards? Absolutely not. And so when she said that, I was upset. Like that night, I remember sharing the video and I was, upset about it. And then that next morning I came on and I saw that she had made a lot of nurses mad. And I really felt sorry for her at that point, because I was like, yeah, buddy, you didn't know what kind of hornet's nest you done stepped your foot in, right? And so it's just power in numbers. It's power for us to show up for each other. It's powerful for us to be able to leverage that market and be able to support the nursing profession, because it's the number one most loved profession over the last 19 years, right? And so we really want to be able to understand how to make everything so much better, to do things so much better within the nursing profession. We're rocking it out, don't get me wrong, but to be able to do that in a way in which we are doing the doggone thing, as I should say. Anyway, I don't see any comments. I don't see anybody asking anything. So I'm just gonna go, and I'm gonna play this song, because this is a song that I always play for my people. And it is not, I don't play all of the songs because I don't know what the lyrics are, but I play this because this is what we're gonna do. All we're gonna do is win, win, win.
Yeah. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there. Ludacris going.
Yeah, I don't know what he's saying, so I'm not going to play that because I don't think that it is very nice. I think it's probably got a few cussing words in it. So anyway, this is Dr. Viola Pierce. I am the CEO and the founder of VP Nursing and the Nurse Nurturer. And our goal is for you to work from your computers anywhere around the world, making money and owning your own time. So I encourage you to go and sign up for our business challenge. It's like a master class. So we'll be teaching 4 nights of just business mindset, the power of social media, how to leverage speaking to monetize your speaking, just all kinds of things. And so, and your customer avatar, I think that's the 4th one. And so I really want you to go and sign up for that. The link is up or below, depending on which social media site that you're on. You may be on YouTube, or you may be on, you may be on Facebook, and depends on where you're at as to where it will be. But go ahead and sign up, and I will see you there. You guys have a phenomenal rest of your day. Bye-bye.